I love the smell of freedom in the morning. Smells like victory. What is happening, Michael people? Welcome to another edition of the vlog. To think, it's already been a month since I left corporate America and pushed all my chips in the middle of the table as far as pursuing my passion as a full-time content creator. And a few people have asked me over the past month, have I gotten bored? Do I love what I do? Is this something that has caused me any type of anxiety? Have I been nervous? Have I really pondered if this was the right decision? Well, I'll unpack that as quick and as concise as possible in 3 bullet points. So please let me indulge you on the following as I talk about what it's been like over the past month since I left my 9-to-5 to do this full time. The first thing, the freedom has been more than I ever imagined. I mean, to think, to be able to wake up and do whatever it is on my schedule, my time, all on me, from whatever time I wake up to the time I go to bed, and having this ginormous window of opportunity, of creativity, of productivity, and knowing that I don't have to worry about answering work emails or having to look at my cell phone to see if I've missed any calls or have to connect a video conference here remotely. And this is just being here at home. So imagine being at work in the office to have any type of creative juice. It was little to none. And for yours truly to have this opportunity that I had been so much looking forward to. And if you haven't seen that video, I took the leap. It's in the description below, so please, if you hadn't had a chance to check it out, I implore you to do so. But just having that wide range of fresh air, and I use that obviously as a metaphor, and it's almost like a gust, because every day I wake up, I know that I have a chance, I have an opportunity to do something that could be not only the building blocks of this foundation of what it is that I built here over the last, not only just 6 years with the podcast, but even more so with this channel over the past year. But yes, I'm laying brick by brick, and who knows, with the way the algorithms are, and I get it that you just have to keep pumping out that content, and hopefully something hits similar to that I Took the Leap video, which really went up over the course of the first few days once I published it. But that's the thing that I look forward to every day. I don't look at this as a slog or like, oh geez, all right, I gotta make sure I have to do this today. No, it's all at my fingertips and it's all right here. And this is all that I've been anticipating based on the months going back to the fall and even prior to that, but everything leading up to last month to be able to now take that step forward in order for me to pursue this. And all I have to say is because of this first month, I've been able to flex that muscle. I've been able to slowly but surely build, whether it's my catalog with the vlogs itself or my video podcast episodes, which I would not be able to do even working at home to try to record and make sure I have one eye on my work email or telephone or whatever it may be. So, telephone? You know what I mean. So when it comes to just being in that creative space and not knowing that there is going to be very minimal interference and to have just the overall freedom and to feel liberated and just to have the license to do whatever it is that I want, I tell you, I can't even quantify how just life-changing that's been, because as I mentioned before, this is what I wanted to do for not only months but even years. And knowing that this time has come, I have to seize it. And I know I have to continue to build, and I know that I've left some things on the table because it's not as if every day I wake up from 7 in the morning and go till, let's say, 10 p.m. No, of course I've had those breaks in between, but I have really been satisfied with this first month, knowing that, yes, there's always more work to be done, no matter how many videos could be a success or no matter how many subscribers, etc. I know that I can't rest on my laurels, and just knowing that I have literally the time and even the world for that matter in my hands, I tell you, I'm taking full grasp and taking that baton and going as far as I possibly can, because again, I've been waiting for this moment. The moment is here, the moment has arrived, and it's now been ticking here for 30 plus days, and there's no way that I'm gonna slow down. And not only having the level of creativity to be able to produce at any given time, to not have to worry about any of that stuff or look over my shoulder, but it's also given me the opportunity to connect more with my wife and even with my little puppy Kismet, to have that time during the week whenever my wife's around, especially when she works here remotely, to cook meals and to interact while we sit. I understand she's working, but to have that connectivity, even on a day like today where it was beautiful in New York City and we were able to go on a nice long walk with the dog here during a weekday, not on a weekend where we both don't have to worry about what's happening on the clock or what's happening with work. No, it was a situation where we were able to do that. And considering that spring is just about 10, 11 days away and warmer days lie ahead, and even later days for that matter, I can only hope that we'll have plenty more opportunities to have those work days, or have those weekdays, I should say, to be able to go out and do that and to have that flexibility. I tell you, it is not only mind-blowing, but it's almost as if I don't even know what to do with myself. So just to have that and have the capability and the functionality to know that I could just set my schedule on any given day to say, all right, well, I know I gotta knock this out. Or even, for instance, last weekend was a rainy weekend here in the Northeast, and I had to finish a vlog in reference to my Kicked in the Groin, the Out on the Range game, the outdoor series a few weeks ago at MetLife. I was able to finish that Saturday night going into Sunday morning, and I was able to publish it. So again, being able to have this job where it's not 9 to 5, it's not punching in and out of a clock and just forgetting the world, knowing that at any given time, I could just say, hey, I could finish this, I could edit that, I could record this. As a matter of fact, I'm doing this now and it's actually past 7 o'clock being able to record this. So to have this luxury, to have this, I tell you, I can't even put it into words. I'm just so ecstatic, I'm elated, I'm excited, and I'm just beyond privileged. And to have this time, I certainly do not take it for granted, and I cherish it beyond belief. So to say that if I was still working, could I have been this productive? Could I have been this guy that could have not only shot, but also edited and typed up descriptions and thumbnails and things of that nature in order to produce quality content? Of course, nothing is impossible, but I know one thing for sure: to be able to be removed from that and to do this and know that I'm going to concentrate fully on this, I tell you, give me this all day, every day, and twice on Sunday, as opposed to having to juggle the aspect of commuting, dealing with people at work. And not to say those people that I'm dealing with are pains or anything like that, but obviously part of my job at that time was to work with my associates, or work with attorneys, or work with practice coordinators who were putting together these meetings. And of course, it's not as if I'm gonna say, well, wait, time out. I gotta make sure that I get in contact with a particular brand. I gotta get in contact with a potential guest, or hey, I have to put that aside because I gotta zero in on what it is that I wanna do in reference to my channel, my podcast, etc. We all know it's not gonna work that way. So to be able to have all of this right now at my fingertips and to have the time, again, goes without saying how much I just truly value this, cherish this, etc. But the other thing I have to recognize and realize too, to stay on that even ground, is that it's only been a month. All right, let's come back 3 months, 6 months, and I'm not gonna make this and every 2 months out of this. Maybe after 3 months, I'll come back and let you know where I stand and what's going on here. But I do realize and recognize that it is important for me to continue to stay on this path, to continue to keep working, to continue to keep pumping out content, to continue to do what it is that I've been waiting to do for all this time, and I'm actually been doing it. As I'm sure the people close to me, and even for those from afar who have never met me, I'm in this for the long haul. This is not about shortcuts, overnight successes. This is not about trying to hit that one video and then just take off and then put my feet up and think that it's gonna be all coconuts and palm trees. Not in the least. If anything, that's gonna make me wanna work even harder to continue to try to find that next story, or try to find that next guest, or try to find that next angle for a vlog that is gonna be not only entertaining, it's gonna be informative, it's going to even share a lot of experience, wisdom, whatever it may be. So this is why I'm doing this. It's not even just a matter of me loving sports and talking about sports, but it's talking about this experience to those who are also thinking about maybe even possibly doing the same thing. And one more time, I know it's only been a month. It's not as if the honeymoon, I guess, is still kind of in effect here. But let's see, as we get to month 3, month 6, and I'm still trying to generate income, and maybe, as you all know, there's a lot of ebbs and flows and even peaks and valleys that, yeah, maybe some months are good or some months are great and there are other months are kind of dry, and having to go through that and just being part of the unknown as to when things will pick up or when this will really take off. I know I can't get wrapped up in that. I know I can't let my mind wander to think, oh, has this been the right decision? Did I do the right thing? Oh no, what's gonna really happen a year from now, whatever. I can't worry about what's gonna happen 6 months from now, a year from now, let alone even 6 days from now. I'm in the moment, right now. One of the things I talked about in the I Took the Leap video. So that's one thing that's kept me grounded throughout this whole process, even prior to me leaving corporate America and now getting into this chapter of my quote unquote work life, is just to remain cool, calm, collected, and make sure that I'm producing, being creative, and staying in that moment and not looking too far ahead, and let all the good, bad, ugly, great, indifferent come my way and deal with it as best as I possibly can. All right. That first one was long-winded. I get it. I had a lot to get off my chest, lots to unpack there. Let's get to these next 2 bullet points so I can get you out of here as quick as possible. The second thing is, am I having fun? Am I getting bored? What's going on here behind the scenes here over the last month? I was asked to, I love what I'm doing, and absolutely, this has been fantastic. I'd love to get behind or in front of the laptop and be able to edit and be able to try to put together a lot of these vlogs where it takes a little bit of ingenuity, not necessarily from a technical standpoint with the camera, but just with the editing and trying to make sure that it's seamless and doesn't seem to be broken up, or I want it to be as a storyteller to get my point across and to not be the guy that's going to put 3 hours of footage and try to edit it and I only have, 5 minutes. I want to be able to have what it is that I'm going to shoot and do it in as best of chronological order so the editing process could be that much more streamlined. And listen, I'm not trying to be the next Steven Spielberg. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel when it comes to vlogging, filmmaking, etc. But part of this process is storytelling. And I hope that what you've been able to see so far, you've been entertained and informed, and you've actually had a chuckle or two with some of the things that I've done here over the last month or so. But I'm having a blast. I'm having a ball. I always have ideas popping up here and there. Some of them have just come to me like that, where, oh, that would be perfect for a vlog. Or something that I know that maybe down the line, all right, this isn't the time to do it, but I know as I get to the spring, especially when it has to do with sports, I will certainly look into that and see if I can come up with a plan or come up with at least a storyline or storyboard to kind of put this particular project together, or any vlog or what have you. So yes, this has been fascinating. This has been just a tremendous experience. I'm having a blast. Now, am I getting bored? Seriously? One more time. I've been waiting for this. It's been a lot of fun. It's been more, again, than what I've ever expected or ever even imagined. So I get it that I have a passion, something that I've been anticipating for so long, that it's easy maybe for somebody to say that, and then when they get to that point, it's like, oh no, now what do I do? Or how do I put together this story? Or really, I don't know how to work this camera. Or, oh geez, I gotta go to Google or even YouTube for that matter to look up this. There's been a couple of times I've had to do that. It's not as if I know every aspect of podcasting / vlogging / editing, etc. But one thing's for certain, this is the process of learning. This is the process of rolling up those sleeves and trying to figure out what it is that I want to do, especially when it comes to putting forth this content. Because yes, I understand sports is my wheelhouse and I can talk about sports until I'm blue in the face or until I literally fall here in this chair fast asleep. But also, it's about making sure that this is coming through loud and clear, that the audio isn't screwed up and the video is not looking like it's being filmed somewhere in an underwater tank. So one thing's for sure is that I have not been bored. I have been on top as best as I possibly can to make sure that I put forth good quality content. And I want to continue to do that and even evolve, because I'm sure 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years, 10 years, I'll look back at these videos and I may even cringe just at the thought of what it was like in this early process to be a content creator. But this is the thing. We all learn. We all progress. We all try to do our best now, but we keep ourselves open and be that sponge to allow all the information and the resources that are out there to put forth a better product. And all I can say, not bored, and for sure, certainly loving what I'm doing. And in closing, I'd be remiss if I didn't give one last thought, especially on these past 30 days and what could possibly lie ahead. And for those who may have watched that video or may be thinking about doing the same thing that I just did, or have stumbled across this video in some way, shape, or form, to think, man, I want to be able to take that leap. I do have something that's in my gut that I want to do, but I'm just afraid to do it. All I'll say is this: time keeps on ticking. It waits for no one. And I know it's a little bit harsh to say, but it has no friends. It doesn't care what you did yesterday. It's certainly not caring about tomorrow because it hasn't come yet. It's all about right now. And I understand whether you can't do it right now, or you don't have the means, or for whatever the reason, the timing just isn't right. That's okay. But as long as you map it out, plan it out, execute it, I will say this: go for it. Time is way too short, people. And I could have been a person to rest on my laurels, even at my age. I'm about to turn 55 at the end of the month. To just say, this is never gonna work, or I'm too old to do this, or who's gonna really watch my content, or I don't know, yeah, some days it's good, some days it's bad. Obviously you have to have that belief. If you don't have that belief in yourself, I'm sure you heard it 1,000 times, and I don't wanna just throw a ton of platitudes at you, but that is true. If in your heart you have that passion for whatever it is, whether it's having a YouTube channel, or whether you want to pursue the arts, music, film, who knows, whatever it may be. You want to own a bakery, you want to do whatever it is, go out there and do it. Because as we all know, it's always important for us to believe in what it is that we have that's burning inside. We never want to let any of our hopes, dreams, aspirations, goals die on the vine. I've never been that one. I've been doing this in some way, shape, or form for almost 25 years. And with the podcast over the last 6, and with the YouTube channel, I really started pumping out content in the latter part of 2022. And I haven't really built a lot of traction really over the course of maybe these last 4 or 5 months. So now, as I try to take this to another level and try to go to places where it's been unforeseen and I never even thought I could possibly imagine, let's say a year ago, this very moment. But now that I'm here, I have zero regrets. I'm glad that I made this move. Now, mind you, you will certainly have to, again, map it out, plan it out as best as possible. I certainly wouldn't want you to quit your job tomorrow and then go off and try to do something and then it fizzle out, or doubt starts to creep in, or belief, etc. That's why it's important to have everything aligned, to make sure that whatever it is that you're gonna do, you're gonna go in 100%. Like I mentioned, push all those chips to the middle of the table and bet on yourself. And that's what I've done. And one more time, it's only been a month. I get it, it hasn't been 6 months. We gotta wait and see what's gonna happen. But of course, we can't rush time, and the last thing I wanna do is will time away, so it'll get here before you know it. And at that time, I'll revisit and maybe even have another vlog in between to kind of see where I'm at here, maybe at the 3-month mark. And I understand that most people are held back by fear. I get it. To be able to leave your job, to not have health insurance, to not have that steady paycheck, no matter how old you are. And I get it, the younger people, they have more of a risk taker mentality because they are young and they feel like, hey, I'm just gonna throw the dice on the table, as opposed to someone that's my age or even a little bit younger, where it's like, kind of set in the ways, don't like change too much. I don't know if this is gonna work out. If you have that type of mentality, then chances are it's not gonna work out. But the most important thing that I could stress here before I say goodbye is that take the chance, because the last thing that you don't even want to have any thought at some point in your life, and especially somewhere down the road where time will go by and you never took the chance, or you never took the risk, or never took the opportunity to say, you know what, I gotta give this at least one shot. Because boy, when you get that bill of regret, there's no turning back. And that's one thing that for a lot of people who do not take that leap, or take that risk, or take that chance, the bill of regret is a lot much more tougher to swallow than looking around, being fearful of how's this gonna work out? What have I done? Oh my God, I have doubt. Oh, I'm anxious. Oh, I'm nervous. All of it. But guess what? That's what you have to learn. That's what you learn about yourself. And that's what's gonna build the character to get you to where you wanna go. Because how I look at it, there's no plan B. This is my plan A, B, C, all the way to Z. And I'm gonna do my damnedest as long as I'm alive and breathing to get to that point. And I just hope that whatever it is that you, whomever's watching this, are planning to do, I hope you have that same passion, fervor for what it is that you want to do. And believe you me, for those who are rooting for me, and even for those who don't know me and are rooting for me, I want you guys and gals to win as well. Because guess what? When it's all said and done, at least you can leave your mark. At least you could say, I did it. And don't let any naysayers, don't let anybody look at you like if you have 10 heads, oh, he can't do it, oh yeah, good luck, all right, sure, whatever, Because they're not living your life. You're living yours, just like I'm living mine. And boy, I couldn't be any happier than to make the move that I did just a month ago. Of course, if you haven't done so, please subscribe, like, leave a comment, and even leave a post if you're doing the same thing or have made the leap years ago. I would love to hear your story. Please leave it in the comments. I'll be more than happy to follow up with you guys and gals. Once again, thank you so much for being a part of this journey. Continue to march along. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. And as I always like to say on the podcast, until next time, on the flip, baby. Oh, and I haven't eaten anything fried over the last almost 3.5 weeks, going back to Lent, so all's good there.